battle, we see there's a lot of unpack. There's a lot to unpack. Whether you're a history buff or just looking to learn something new, these 12 facts will give you a deeper understanding of this pivotal period in Americans' history. You know what I'm saying? Remember, all these people were invaders as well. So, many of the American history is still based on invasion. You know what I'm saying? Just remember that because the Africans was already here and many other groups was already here long before that invasion and garbage came to this land. You know what I'm saying? Because, many of them were tyrannical in their ways. You know what I'm saying? But we see in American history, ready to dive in, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got time. It's from the formation of the Confederates, states, the Confederate States, because, Donald Trump is accused of this type of behavior and shit like that. So they're going to put out a lot of this information based on trying to show you. But let's see where they go with it. The Confederate States of America, the CSA, emerged during a turbulent period in the United States history. In a turbulent time of your craziness. Let's dive into some unhinging facts about the formation. The CSA was founded by 11 states, 11 southern states that succeeded from the Union between 1860 to 1861. These states were Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Here we see Jefferson Davis, the former U.S. Senator and Secretary of the War, was elected as the President of the Confederate States in 1861. He served as the only president of the CNS throughout its existence. We see where the Confederate Constitution adopted in March 1861 was similar to the United States Constitution, but emphasized states' rights to explicitly protect the institution of slavery. Oh, yes, it did. You know what I'm saying? Military battle. The Confederate States were heavily involved in numerous battles during the Civil War. You know what I'm saying? Here are some of the key military facts. You know what I'm saying? We see here in this one, we see the first shot of the Civil War were fired at the at the at Fort Sumter, you know what I'm saying, in South Carolina on April 12, 1861. This marked the beginning, South Carolina, the beginning of the conflict between the Union and the Confederacy. You see what I'm saying? In South Carolina. George Robert E. Lee was the most famous Confederate general. He commanded the Army of the North of North Virginia, you know what I'm saying, and became the symbol of the Southern pride of the military powers. You know what I'm saying? Okay. The Battle of Gettysburg, you know what I'm saying, fought from July 1st to July 3rd, 1863, was the largest battle, you know what I'm saying, ever fought on the in North America. It ended in a significant defeat of the Confederacy and is often considered the turning point of the Civil War. No, no, no. When you look at the Civil War and the nonsense, was all based on the same bullshit that was going on in Africa prior in many ways and still going on. It's the same thing when you see the story of Goliath. Now, these people was a wandering wanderer according to this, but they're the only ones that were chilling with God. You know, saying everybody else was evil. That's why they like to demonize black people because they know for well that bullshit they're telling you about themselves is not true. You know what I'm saying? And they're the only ones going with God, and they Caucasians and they white in your mind in this country. You know what I'm saying? Because this is how stupid people can be. Now, They wander, and then they said they came into Egypt. Okay, which I don't believe. I believe they're full of shit. Now, the second thing is, you know what I'm saying, when you look at even that, let's go past the fact that he was in there, he was in Egypt, he said all this lying ass shit, you know what I'm saying? But then you said you left Egypt in your lying ass shit, and you was God was leading, and Moses and them and all this nonsensical were leading you to the land of milk and honey. But when you got there to the land of milk and honey, which is a land you don't own, you didn't own Egypt. You came into Egypt. That's God. You said. And then when you left, you went looking for the land of milk and honey. So you said. And then you traveled and this, that, and then you came into a land and you said there were giants there. You know what I'm saying? Goliath, a Canaanite. But when you look at the facts of the Canaanite, it's African. And then when you look at many other things that is going on with that story, you know what I'm saying? How you get into Africa as a white boy and you going in there and you're the chosen people and all this story you're telling of these so-called people and they're white, they hate you but stole your name and everything and stole everything from you. They probably even your culture, your race and everything else but slipping their so-called fake ass Luciferian God. So when they get to this part of the land of milk and honey in itself, you go into somebody, you just went into somebody's land and say that you went in there and multiplied and this and then the Egyptians didn't want you and they kicked you out, which probably if it was a system that probably would have. You're full of shit. But anyway, and then you call yourself Israel. So you left the land, looking for the land of milk and honey, and went into another person's land just as you went into Egypt and you went into another person's land, and then you said that God told you that you could take this land from the Canaanites and kill the giants, kill Goliath. And who's the Goliath? Goliath who's who? Africans? You know what I'm saying? That's the giant. You know what I'm saying? And you invade that land and see you took it from the people. So you're still talking invasion. So this is a story of no more that the Zionists trying to incorporate themselves into Africa in any shape or form they can find to say they have a right to be there and a right to have this land, you know what I'm saying, as their own. The Ottoman Turks doing the same thing, the French probably did the same thing, the Brits did probably the same thing, all them motherfuckers. Because they're no more than devil worshipping, blood sucking tyrants telling you about a fake God and fake stories. And then when they say they went in with their fake story, they they had a battle and this little white boy knocked out a big ass giant. But in the book, you have the pictures where you paid them white. I guess that's why you took the pictures out because you know people know you're full of shit, and that's why you take out many things. But when you really look at the story in itself, that's a story of the Zionists, probably the Ottoman Turks, and many other groups calling themselves, especially with the Jews and them, saying that they create this story and they're Europeans. I don't know why they keep calling themselves a lot of these names, but they this story, and then they use this story to say that they went into this land, you know what I'm saying, and the Africans enslaved them. So right there, when you start talking that bullshit, this in the scriptural book has demonized African people and the Egyptians, in which you know are way greater than your dumbass coming out of the cave, scratching your Neanderthal booty, monkey booty, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you come out and say that all this stuff, but you wove yourself based on a wandering wanderer, wandering and going into people's land and shit, and doing bullshit. But this is no more than a story of what took place back then when the Zionists decided they're going to find a homeland for the Zionist Jews and this cultic shit that they do. Even controlling the media, the news outlets, and many other informational things that's nothing but, like Trump said, fake news. Ran by probably the judicial group. But anyway, in the judicial house, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, this is what you did. You call yourself, woven yourself somehow, somewhere into Africa, and say that the homeland, and we created this bullshit ass story about Moses to be, you know what I'm saying, and then say that you did this and you did that, and he led you to the land of Israel. And so now that whole story, you know what I'm saying, that whole story of Exodus is no more than a story to give them a right to say that they could leave Germany and different places where they come from all over the world and invade into Africa, into Egypt, and fought wars and killing and murdering and killing the African people and doing all types of shit along with them crooked ass twisted Arabs, you know what I'm saying, doing bullshit. You're full of shit, you know that, right? And like the white girl said in the short I saw on YouTube, when the guy was out there preaching somewhere, and the white girl told him, "You're delusional." Well, that white girl was 100% right. And one day, all these dumbass people, you know what I'm saying, will find that same thing. This is why they're so forceful. You see what I'm saying? Even when you look at the Confederacy and many of those groups, look at their ideology in which they believe. Now, we understand people have all types of ideology and people follow all types of things. You know what I'm saying? But many of these ideologies were ejected by the fact that they feel that they, in somehow in their mind, they know they're criminal. They know they're criminal altogether, but period. You know what I'm saying? And they feel that they could pass off these things and continue these things that we've seen even before it came here on this land, that they were doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing. So we in the same thing. So when you see that in itself, you know full well that their mind frame is influencing the world to the point where people just is not feeling that in no shape or form. The real people that know what's going on do not feel none of it, because this is what they've been doing. The reason why I cut across some of it is they've been doing this shit a long time. You know, it might be kind of wondering if why people don't say, why the hell I got to come to this planet? You Now, let's take a look at, the dumbness of our people in all ways. Because, see, they want to make this a racist thing. So be aware of that. Be aware of that. We already know that. They're going to try to pull out the black card. They're going to try to pull out the racist card. They're going to try to pull out the whole deck. You know what I'm saying? But Trump is too smart for that. Trump knows that the trueness of the black people are truly on the side of making America and keeping it. No, America is great, but we're gonna keep it that way because many are trying to tear it down in all ways and also get us annihilated by nuclear war. This is why Zelensky's over there doing his bullshit and think he's fooling somebody. You know what I'm saying? This is all to keep the fear and the shit of the nuclear war and all this bullshit going. They spark the war. They're talking about when Trump get in, you're not going to stop it. You're going to find some documents that say that you can't stop it. There should be no documents that state that when it comes to any form of war that the United States can bring down to a settlement that way the craziness goes away. But we see here where NSNBC Joyce Reid warns black people re- they'll, they'll, they'll look real weird and crazy if they refuse to support Kamala Harris. You hear that? You hear that? If they refuse, if they refuse, we gonna look crazy. So you judging us on some bullshit? Calling all this folk you working for the deep state? You retarded ass. This is coming in by Zachary Lehman 5 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time. Coming off the media. But we see here where screenshot itself, there's official TikTok, and they've seen. We see NSNBC Joyce Reid warned black voters that this week they will look real crazy and real weird if they decide to support anyone but Kamala Dumbass Harris. You know what I'm saying? Reed took to TikTok to took TikTok atomic clock and nuclear clock is going to boom up and up and we burn like fire in the mushroom cloud, huh, Joyce Reed? I see where you going with yours. You know what I'm saying? On the issue to celebrate. What? Eh, second to you know, this woman is retarded. You know what I'm saying? Of Harris. Some kind of satanic bullshit word. Stratospheric. Listen to it. Stratospheric. You know what I'm saying? I guess stratospheric or whatever they call it. Entrance of Kamala Harris into the presidential race following Creep Joe Rollback bitch. Biden. No, he wasn't. He damn sure was following him, but it was a part of the same electoral preaching and bullshit that he did. Even when it came down to the, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And it even came down to that. You was a part of that orchestration as well. So if people have any rightful mind and have any goddamn sense, you know what I'm saying, don't do that. Because it's the same thing if you had put Hillary Clinton in there, she would have had all the black people probably lined up and got there and sent off to the quarantine camps like Hitler did, you know what I'm saying, just before the war and even during the war, you know what I'm saying? But we see instead, you know, a Creep Joe Biden stepping his crooked ass down, you know what I'm saying? On his campaign, busy wizzy, giving just the stratosphere interest of the Kamala Harris rise into the presidential campaign, and she has now secured enough delegates to become the nominee. You're going to look kind of crazy, you'll say, being on the other side. This ain't about the other side. You asshole, ass wife of a woman. This is not about that. You keep on preaching on your side the lying tongues of abomination that sounds like the truth, but it is a lie. Even when you're speaking, saying it's some form of truth. You know what I'm saying? This is about uniting the United States. That's why it's called the United States. You need to get the fuck out and go back to, I don't know, don't go to Africa. Go somewhere where you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a nut. Anyway, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? This is about the United States, Joyce dumbass Reed. This ain't about no left, no right, or whatever side you're on. This has been the bullshit that has fucked up our country in all ways. This is why you see so many different factions and so many different groups and so many this and so many that and everything left. We got to cut some of this shit down short, cut this shit short. You know what I'm saying? We moving into a whole different time, and many of us was left behind, even scientifically. But you see here what she talking about. You know what I'm saying? What side you on and bullshit like that, secure enough delegates to become the nominee, so you're going to be looking crazy. So what you are judge and jury and we little children, dickhead, you know what I'm saying? You know, being on the other side of the line. Like you, particularly as a person of color, particularly as a black man, a black woman, the goddess herself, and a black man, and a black child, and a black everything, GAS, global African supremacy. Shut the fuck up. You're an asshole. Because you ain't really, you don't, do you know how to play chess? Or you just straight stupid? Go try to play golf. Maybe it'll help you out. But at the same time, She's talking whatever side of the law, especially people of color, see. But listen to her, she's spreading and think that this shit sounds so sweet that it's the truth to going into our head, but it's bullshit lies and it's dead. But really, as anyone who claims to have any connection, listen to this, anyone, this is what she's saying. Saying? You're going to feel pretty silly, particularly as a person of color, but really, as anyone, but really, but really, as anyone who have any connection to culture. Uh, Joyce Reed, you on medication? Or you drank the blood and they send you out there and you know for where you can just sell your stinking ass. You can bring your stinking ass out here and sell your people out. Just like you probably been doing with that blonde hair bullshit shit you got on your weed talking about some motherfucking blind whatever the fuck you dyed your hair to. You are idiot. What culture are you talking about? This is not about that either. This is with Donald Trump got to rock their motherfucking ass when they talk shit if we want to stand ground. Now Kamala Harris want to stand ground, she better stand ground because, you know what I'm saying, we ain't going to put that con out this bullshit talking about any connection to culture with black culture, nigger. You know what I'm saying? You need to sit your ears down. She's talking about the culture, black voters, and people who claim to have any connection to culture, black voters. She mentioned she said black people. She said black voters and then people. Why would you do that? She said in the statement it says black voters and people. Well, ain't black voters people? And people who claim to have any connection. Who are you talking about? Black voters or black people, and put the word "and" in there with the word "people," so that means white people, Arab people, and anybody that agree right along with all of us. You know what I'm saying? You're full of boo boo because you don't lead none of us, Joyce Reed, and your shitty program. You know what I'm saying? You're an idiot, a deep state, a blood sucking, Luciferian having ass, selling ass out nigga. And that's just frank with it. It don't matter what. Even if you kill people, people are still gonna say the same thing, Joyce Reed. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be frank. You're just an idiot. But at the same time, talk about have any connection to culture would be lonely voting for someone over Harris. We continue. You're going to look really weird. You look really weird and really lonely. On the other way, you keep fucking saying the other side when you always preach equality, you preach open border policy, to say that the asylum seekers that you're using to replace the American people, like Trump said, we need the people because there's many companies, so saying there's many American people that and all the bullshit. American people can hold their own. We don't mind many people coming because the African people is the only original people of this land. They don't gotta go nowhere. This is Africa. Most of the other people came from Siberian mountains probably and many parts of the Nordic upper part. You did not come from this land, South America or Africa itself. You ceased to destroy it though. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, and you did everything you possibly because you're talking about you're going to look really weird and lonely on the other side. You're really going to look crazy being on the other side. See, you keep mentioning the other side. You know what I'm saying? Giving a cultural phenomenon. See how she threw the word phenomenon? You know what I mean? Some kind of spiritual phenomenon gonna happen, and the miracles of Jesus gonna come out of nowhere, and you're gonna do, and then the miracles, and then the miracles, and then the miracles, and the witchcraft, and all that other bullshit, with the pastor, the possession, and all that, you know what I'm saying, and the three fingers, and all that bullshit, and we gonna be really looking stupid because it's gonna be a phenomenon. You see the type of shit these people say out their mouth. Look up the word phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? Kamala Harris is not a phenomenon. Kamala Harris is a deep state Luciferian pedophilia. Yes, she is idiot. This is why Creep Joe Biden, or whoever convinced Creep Joe Biden to put her ass in there. You know what I'm saying? This is a very crazy time in our government for us to even look at somebody like a phenomenon and call a vice president Kamala cheating your ass into our fucking wife in our government, in our world with her bullshit. She said, you know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? What's her name? Reese Nut? She is about to become the first. See? You see? Already trying to throw some form of truth, not truth, but sounding like the truth, but it's really a lie. Talking about the first black woman or the first black woman or the first woman president. So now instead of using the first black woman president, she's going to become the first. You notice how she's staying away from, I don't know most of Joyce. If you go back and listen to Joyce Reid talk, and notice how Joyce Reid stays away from the fact of black. You know what I'm saying? The black man, the black woman, the beautiful, beautiful, big, juicy, you know what I'm saying? Big butt. Oh, Lord, you know what I'm saying? Black woman. Fuck it. I ain't no child here with you, Joyce Reid. And I ain't with your woke shit. You know for well our women are the strongest on this here planet. And give life in the genesis of this planet. But you're going to sit up here and try to tell us, and then when you try to talk, but you try to stay away from seeing black people. Listen to her. You know what I'm saying? She's about to become the first woman. The first black woman. What wrong with saying that? If she's black. But we know she's a Semite and a Joe. But Harris has not yet been fully nominated, and I don't think she should be, by the Democratic Party. But as Reid noted, she's already secured the delegates needed to jump to the top of the ticket. Trump has already secured his position. Yes, he do, because he gotta have somebody in there against your crazy ass like you, Joyce Reid. You see what I'm saying? Also wants voters to let's go back. He said Trump has already secured his party's nomination. You know what I'm saying? And Joyce Reid, in that case, as also wants voters to cold shoulder others running. Why should we do that? Who the fuck is you? Who the hell is these people that we allowed to speak because they get a little position, a little talk show on the radio, a talk show on the TV, and got a little media coverage and can be in everybody's fucking face on YouTube and wherever the fuck you talking. And just let these people like these people convince you into thinking what you. Now, why would the fuck would you tell us, you know what I'm saying, some bullshit, get others cold shoulder, which includes independent presidential candidate John F. Kennedy? Sorry, brother. That's your uncle. You know what I'm saying? But Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Why would you do that? As well as a libertarian, Chase Oliver, in the Green Party, Jill Stein. You're garbage. If the people want to vote for them, or any one of them, it's called a free election. There is no convincing like you did in 2020, and when Trump was running, and You know what I'm saying? And Biden was running, everybody was running, preaching open border policy to invade our country and make it the most dangerous place on planet Earth, probably when it comes to 4.9 trillion people in the country from somewhere else. Okay, now, second thing, open borders. Well, we know that what that's all about. So people better watch what we call replacement, especially black people. So you better get on the dime and get on the game. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you up here preaching about who to vote for when y'all done did a massive whack of bullshit garbage that we ever seen across this planet here for the last probably 100 fucking years and better. And you gonna tell us not to vote for Robert F. Kennedy? You put his name at the top of your sheet. So who the fuck you working for, Joyce Reed? I'd really like to know. And how did you get these talk shows and these different things? Would you have to sign the contract and then get gang bang or whatever happened, and then they make you drink blood and then they blood you in, or I don't know. Who are you working for? And I'm not talking about the blood of the Crips of those guys. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about that. This is a different blood. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't hope for affiliations. I'm saying we talking about what group are you really from? Because it don't show much about caring about the very same people you're trying to convince into following your bullshit, which doesn't make sense. So Joyce Reed then took a brief shot at Amber Rose by a radical or whatever model, by radical model, whatever, by rate, no, Joyce Reed, I'm sorry. These words, I got to extend it. Let me extend this sometimes you can take the nerves, but you can't extend this particular thing that easy without messing it up. That's why I don't touch it too much. You know what I'm saying? But she's is a biracial model who spoke at the Republican National Convention last week. Reed said Rose looked crazy over there, and the door should be shut behind her. No, Joyce Reed, sorry to tell you, your door has already been shut behind your ass. And we like to say, let the doorknob hit you with a good Lord split you. And advice comes from the old Red Fox show. He'll say, don't eat egg salad if you go ride the bus, sucker. So this is Point Blank saying, I don't want to read any more of what the fuck she's saying out of her goddamn mouth. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn mouth. Because she full of shit. Don't let any of these black civil rights leaders, Black Caucus Party, or anyone make a decision, an informed decision, by doing research and science in all ways to place your vote. Let's come out in our most powerful strength and show the world for the first time what the United States of America stands for. Why we are the sanctuary of the world and the greatest of all times. So this is Point Blank saying, farewell. Chumpy Bear, baby. Farewell. One. Because if we're not going to come and solve the problem, then we have no choice but to tell people who and what and where in order for the problem to be solved. They must make that decision for themselves. One, we will meet again.